Okay, it's time to check our Whitefish Bay, Lake Superior, Michigan, mixed beach stones. Say that fast 5 times. Which has been running for 4 days in our aluminum oxide 500 pre-polish. Looks a little dry, but it does still have movement. And it is going to be time to wash these out. Add a little Dawn soap. A lot of water. We're going to let those bubble away for about 15 minutes. Rinse them well and prep them for the 1000 pre-polish. Alright, we'll be back in about half an hour. And we're back with our barrel that was on the Vibratory unit. It's our 500 aluminum oxide. It's our Whitefish Bay beach stones. It's had its little wash cycle. Now we're going to rinse it out. This is all that Dawn soap that was mixed in with it. This is incredibly heavy. Oh, heavier than you think it would be. That barrel's all nice and clean. Oh, no, it's not. I lied. There we go. I missed a spot. Super sudsy. I don't like to use a metal strainer once I get to the pre-polishes because I don't want any micro scratches. So this strainer I use for my 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit and my medium stage, the 120-220. I use this when I'm using the silicone carbides, and I use this when I'm using the pre-polishes. So let's just do a quick touchy feel on these, and they're feeling so smooth. We spent 4 days in 500, and now I'm ready to put these in for, actually I don't even want them to go back in here. This is my 500 barrel, and I keep it for 500 stage because I am very fortunate and I can have different barrels for different stages. When I got my Vibratory unit, I got a 3-barrel unit instead of a 1. It's a lot more expensive, but I get to keep all my stuff separate. So this is my 500 barrel. Now this ceramic media is going to be kept for 500. I'm going to let it air dry and then put it away till the next time I need it. I have a different set of this media that I only use in the 1000 stage. So I keep my barrels separate, I keep my ceramic media separate, and I'm getting the better results because I'm not having the possibility of any cross-contaminations. So it's a fun little experiment. Well, not really, because none of these are pitted. Oh, we got a broken one. Oh, one of ours broken. That's not good. To find its other piece and pull it out of the unit because I don't want it to scratch the next set of stones. Okay, let's go prep the 1000 barrel and get it running on the tumbler, or the Vibratory tumbler. We'll be right back. Okay, we've moved our Vibratory unit from my workshop to my husband's workshop because I needed more space. So we have our barrel that we keep for 1,000. I'm going to dampen it down. Just put a couple squirts in there just to make it a little damp. We're going to put our freshly washed stones back in. They're still wet, as you can see. Trying to be gentle. Them all out. That's that one that broke. We're going to take it out. Now I'm going to put this on the unit. Oh. All right. Move those aside. And this is my ceramics that I have set aside that I only use in the 1000 stage. And I want them damp before they go in the barrel as well. Do something goofy, try and pour this water back in here, and it's probably going to make a mess. Because I don't want this to be in the barrel. All right, now, let's see. Sorry about the camera setup here. We're still working with it. Let's just move the unit. We want damp, everything damp. We don't want standing water. I'll turn the unit on. There's too much stuff in the way here. Never gonna get it. All right, it's time to check our beach stones from Whitefish Bay. It's been running for 3 days in 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish. Let's take a look here. It's running really smooth, nice thick paste. Let's just pull one out. Ooh, yeah, it's a thick paste. Let's clean it off here. Goodness. All right. It's dried off. Let's take a look at it. Nice smooth surface. A nice flat finish on it. I think it's time to put it in a wash cycle. And we'll see it and treat it in a little bit. Put some Dawn soap in here. Just a drop or two. Lots of water. Turn the action up. Put the cap on it. In about 15 minutes or half hour, I will wash it out outside and then prep the barrel for polish. Okay, be right back. We're going to start with our Sera Jasper, or windowed Rhyolite as it's also known. Oops. It's running in our medium grit, which is 120-220 silicone carbide. Nice and foamy. Alright. Clean the barrel out. Nice and easy. This has been running, 7 days? Nope. Put it in on the 4th, and today is the 12th, so 8 days. Alright. Take a quick peek. Ooh, this is looking beautiful. It's feeling really good. Oh, excellent. Not noticing any chips so far. We'll take a look downstairs. We'll do a nice inspection. Yeah, okay. We'll see this downstairs. And we are back with our Sodalite, which has been running 8 days in stage 1, 6090. Of course, silicone carbide grit. We've got a nice thick slurry. Do a quick rinse of the lid, the barrel. Needles falling already. Got a little bit of grit left. You may have to run these longer than 7-day cycles, 8-day cycles, or keep using less and less grit. One of these days we'll get it down pat. Oh. And we'll be right back. Okay, such a beautiful blue. Oh, getting ceramic stuck in here. Just such a lovely, lovely blue. This might be ready to move to 120. We'll find out when we go downstairs and do the inspections. Oh, it's so lovely. Alright, let's put it all back in the barrel. And we're back with our Unakite, which has been running 8 days in this particular cycle of 6090. We had some other stone in there as well. because we were trying to get a good barrel volume. I think we put some Vibratory in here. Ooh, that's a big spider. See ya. On the drain you go. Itsy bitsy spider. Not dealing with spiders, and if you like spiders, that's on you. I don't. Okay, we have some pieces. There's a bloodstone, a couple, looks like a prairie agate, and some yellow aventurines in here. Not seeing any chipping that happens. These items just need a little extra time. In 6090, I think these are going to be just fine. Now a bit more of a rinse. Okay, see these downstairs. And we're back with our Lepidolite that we are running in stage 1. We keep adding to the rough. Wow, look at how thick that is. Like cake batter. We keep adding rough to the barrel because we have so much extra to run. Look at that. Holy cow. This really soft stone just disintegrates. We've got chickage, breakage, lots of leftover grit. This is all draining in our outdoor drain. Oh, my goodness, still a lot left. Yeah, some of these pieces are going to need more time. One or two might actually be ready to move to, like that one I think is ready to go to 120. We have no ceramic media in here because we're trying to get the most grindage we can in this stage. Whew. All this is broken. It's all broken. Okay. We'll see the Lepidolite inside. Be right back. We're back with our green Jasper. Lid does not want to come off. There we go. Wow, super thick. I like these nice slurries. This ease of cleanup is thanks to the borax added. A little left over in the lid. Just a quick rub down to that off. I have a couple pieces of Sera Jasper I needed to put in the barrel to give us some volume filler and a couple more pieces of ametrine. Oh, looking good. And we're back with our last barrel for cleanouts this week, and this is our mixed barrel of Mohs Hardness 7 stones that all just needed some more time to stay down. So we have a nice little mix of stones in here. Great big piece of bloodstone. And some nice big pieces of amethyst. We're not really running, we're just kind of putting in here as filler. Some peach aventurine, some Australian crazy lace, some green moss agate, some black onyx, all kinds of little things in here. And then the, what looks like little glass beads is really topaz. And we're just using this topaz as in place of ceramic media. Okay. We'll do our inspections inside in just a moment. And we're back with our Whitefish Bay 1000 aluminum oxide beach stones. It's been in pre-polish. It's just finished its wash cycle. With Dawn soap. And you may notice that we're using a different colander to do the cleanup because we don't want grit cross-contamination. Alright, we're going to take this inside and prep it to go to polish. Not a whole lot to say about it just yet. Be right back. Welcome back. We are starting with our Whitefish Bay, Lake Superior, Michigan barrel that was in the Vibratory unit in the 1000 aluminum oxide polish or pre-polish, and now we're going to see if it's ready to move to polish. And it feels really, really smooth. There's no pitting or fracture marks. Got a little bit of a matte shine starting. But it is granite, so we don't know how much of a polish it's really going to take. But some of these we had cut on the tile saw to see what was inside. And it's really pretty. Nice piece of pink granite here. It's very, very smooth. Just a lot of granite. Little tiny pieces that we had cut. Looks like that could be quartz or quartzite. More granite. This is a piece of Unakite. Another piece of Unakite. It's all looking non-eventful. Everything looks like it can just go right back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Jacobsville sandstone out. Because can you see the surface is really porous, and I just don't think it's going to really take a nice shine. And I don't want it to ruin the batch of other rocks. Oof. It's drying out quite a bit. And you can, this is a perfect example. You see how porous that surface still is. There's no way it's going to take a good shine. You see when it dries out, you can really see the surface. As opposed to when it's wet. Yeah, I'm just going to remove these two stones from the batch, set them aside, and we're going to add the polish ceramics to this. We're going to get everything in the barrel nice and wet. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of borax, 2 tablespoons of the 2-micron aluminum oxide polish. Put this on the vibratory unit, and we'll see it in about 3 days. Okay. And we're back with our Sodalite. It has run 3 cycles in 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. And we are going to take a look at it. It's still wet from the clean out. Take a look and see how it's progressing. It's shaping well. There's still some cracks and crevices I'd like to have smoothed out. But let's see how much of it we can pull out for stage 2. It's all got a lot of fracture marks on it. I think it's from when they crushed the stone at the mine to make it tumbling rough. This one's looking much better. Just a little bit. I'd say that's just about ready. I don't want to rush it, because if I do, the surface won't be prepared well enough to take a really good polish, and we'll be disappointed in the end. So even though the stones are getting smaller, wow, that's not going to be an easy one to work with. But even though the stones are getting smaller, I want them to have the best polish we can obtain. So I think it's going to get a 4th cycle. Really close. Just a little more shaping. Oh, that's a really cool one. Super light color, comparatively speaking. Oh, I think this is the one that we thought was a sunstone. And, all the feldspar was tumbled off. Aw. Yeah, I think we're definitely Gonna run this another week. Alright, we will prep the barrel for 60-90. Because this is such a small barrel, there's only one piece really ready. I'm just going to leave it all in. I'm not going to start splitting it now. It's in a 1.5 pound barrel. We had a lot of ceramics in here, which is impeding some of the movement and slowing the grind. And I'm alright with that because it's a slightly softer stone. Let's give it a little shake here. I need the ceramics for 2 reasons. One is to get the barrel volume up to the 2/3 full. And the second is to help cushion or slow the grind because I don't want to lose a lot of mass. And it's a little bit softer stone. So normally I would put in 1.5 tablespoons of coarse grit, but I'm only going to put, just under 1 tablespoon, and then 1 tablespoon of borax, water to the bottom layer of the stone, and put it back on the tumbler, and we'll see this in another week. Okay, that's it for Sodalite. And we're back with our Lepidolite, which is an advanced tumble. We have been running continuous stage 1 barrels on this because we're trying to get all of the rough that we have up to the same stage ready to go to medium. So this is feeling really porous, very sandy, but it's very smooth. Now we had no ceramics in it this time because we were trying to get, we had brand new rough in here, we were trying to get the get it ground down, but this one must have been in 2 or 3 cycles and it's ready to go to medium. It's another one ready to go to medium. This is not. Let's see how much work needs to happen to this still. Back in the barrel for that one. This one I think. Ooh. Now, it's really close to being ready to go to medium. But I'm going to put it back in the barrel. This is ready for medium. This is going to break. You can see the fracture line here. Whoop. Let's get a focus. You can see the fracture line. Oof. And there it goes. Look at that. Look at the crumble of the stone. Oh, and there was a whole nother whole piece that came off too. Yikes. I mean, it's just crumbling in our hands. Look at all this stone. You would. There's no way we want a stone like that to have progressed to another stage of grit. Because if it broke then, it would ruin the finish on other stones. So stage 1 is definitely where we want this crumbling and breakage to happen. I'm going to go wash my hands off, and then I'm going to come back and finish inspecting this batch. Be right back. We're back. Who would have thought you could crumble stone with your hands? Yeah, this needs more work. That's got a really sharp point. Well, we know that's going to need to go back in. Just going to let that crumble to dust. This one's feeling better. Oh, this feels like it's got some granite in it. Or at least a high mica content. Very rough and porous surface. It needs another run. another runs. I mean, some of these you can tell it's only been 1 week. And some of them it's been 2 or 3, and you can really see the difference. Wow, look at that. Remember last week we said we wanted to run this again? That is really super pitted. Let's see what happens. Run it again. It's got some quartz on it. Oh, remember? This was that piece that we were really concerned to get all the grit out of it. We were going to let it go for another week. I'm going to put that in the ultrasonic and see if that gets it out of that spot. A cute little experiment. It's another one that just broke. We did put a lot of new rough in there. This is that piece that we broke earlier, a couple weeks ago. That granite still hanging on. I thought that the other stone would have loosened it off by now. This is the one with the green on it. I wanted to see what would happen. So far the green has stayed. We didn't know if it was emerald or tourmaline. Probably tourmaline. Gosh. This surface is just not ready. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot left. These are just like little pebbles. This is all the breakage that happened in the barrel. We're going to leave it in there. It's rough. Filler. All these little pieces that we just broke off are going to go back in the barrel to help aid with the grind. I'm sure it's just all going to become mud. So we saw how the super thick slurries that come out of this. But we still have more lepidolite. So our lovely little 3-pound barrel is only just under half full. So we're going to throw some more stone in. Now just watch it disappear. Goodness. I'd like this to be the last week I do this. And it's going to be, I know that's going to be a little over full. It'll lock up and we won't get any grind. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to grab a hammer and tap that. Be right back. This has got a really deep crack. And I just want to give this stone a tap and do that. And that's just crumbling to nothing. Fits better in the barrel. I'm going to throw this part out. Goodness, all the sparklies. Alright, so we have like 5 pieces that we're going to put aside for stage 2. We're going to run this barrel 2 tablespoons, I don't need that much, a tablespoon and a half of stage 1 silicone carbide, 1 tablespoon of borax, put water in it, and we'll see it in a week. We're going to let it grind down. And these are just going to go in the garbage. I think it's even too soft to put outside. I'd hate for a bird to get that and choke on it. I don't know. Kind of a silly thing to be worried about. Okay, be right back. And we're back with our Unakite, which has a little bit of a mix in it. We were using our 3-pound barrel, and we needed some more volume in the barrel, and we added some stragglers. So I had this piece of bloodstone that just needed some more work. You see it's got this crevice in it here that I'm trying to work out some. And it has this spot here, which is really rough, and I kind of want to get that worked out. And it has this end here, which I'd like ground down a little bit more. So that's why it was in the barrel. It still needs more work. It'll probably be in a stage 1 barrel for a while. These are a couple of pieces of prairie agate, crushed prairie agate that I had that needed more time. You see there, I just wanted to work out a little bit more, get it at least a little bit wider so that it won't be a grit catcher. That'll go in another week. This one's feeling much, much better. Patterns on the agate are coming out. That's nice. Or becoming more visible, I should say. I think this piece is finally ready to join the others in stage 2. This feels smooth. I think it's ready to join the others also. Yay! Alright, we'll pull those out of the barrel, move those to stage 2. This is a piece of blue aventurine, and it's a lot different than the Sodalite, where the Sodalite has kind of the lightning patterns. This kind of has a dotted matrix on it. It's feeling amazing, and I think it's ready to go to stage 2. So we'll move that to a stage 2 barrel. And I had a piece of peach aventurine in here, which is probably going to need more time. This is a really lovely piece, and I'm really liking it, but it's got this little bit of a fracture, an internal crush mark here, which is smooth to the touch, and it's under the surface, and there's nothing you can do with that. That's just an optical illusion. But this is the problem right here. I'm hoping that that will open up more so we can clean it well and it won't be a grit carrier. There's no way the stone's going to grind down to get rid of those. But we can get it closer. Then we've got some yellow aventurine. And the reason I put aventurine in this barrel is because it's the same most hardness as the Unakite. It's like the 6.5 to 7. It's just slightly softer than Jasper, but not much. That feels really, really good. That can move forward. Some of these little fractures on aventurine catches the fingernail. If it can catch the fingernail, it can catch grit. Oh, that's lovely. Now, we had run aventurines a couple years ago, and these were just little pieces I had left over on my project wall, just waiting for another batch to run. And instead of waiting for another aventurine batch, which who knows how long it'll be before I do that, I just wanted to run it now because I needed to fill the barrel. That's got a little bit of a crack that I want to work out. Just a wee bit, so it can go back in the barrel. All of this we're pulling out. This is all going to medium. Now, let me put those away before I forget what I'm doing, and we'll be right back with the Unakite. And we're back with our Unakite. Oh, it has been running 3 cycles in stage 1. And we've been pulling out little pieces that are ready to move forward. That is not catching any grit, and it's more of a divot been a problem. I might give it one more week. Well, I can feel fractures on that one. On that one. I love Unakite. I just want to make sure the surface is as perfect as possible before we go forward. Yeah, it's like I can just feel rough spots, and if I can feel rough spots, they don't go forward. It's like this corner right here. That feels good all the way around. Really close. I think one more week and almost all of this will be ready. Almost all of it. See, when it has these divots, you can see how it just divots in there. It's hard to get the grit in there to smooth the surface, so it takes a little bit longer. And that's why we need things like ceramic media to help get the grit in those little spots, because I don't know what that is. Is that just straight up epidote? Could be. I'm not seeing feldspar in it. I am seeing heavy pitting though. But yeah, so I think I'm going to have to add ceramics this time. I have not had any ceramics in it to this point. But there's just some pieces that require, you know, they have some divots and stuff, and I think that the smaller ceramic media will get in these little spots, carry the grit to them. A lot less is ready than I thought at an initial glance. Yeah, that whole surface. Well, that's ready. This is beautiful, beautiful rough. I do love running Unakite. Even though it's a smidge softer, a 6.5 to a 7 instead of like a 7 to 7.5, it runs about the same as a Jasper. It's definitely a beginner stone. It's beautiful. It's very forgiving. You know, if you let it run too long, it's not going to shrink it to heaven. That one's ready, but not ready. It's really starting to dry. I don't like to let it dry, but when we do these inspections, oh, so close to being ready. Is that an optical illusion? No, I can feel it. They're so tiny. It's just a little guy. This could probably go to a smaller barrel. I love when there's progress made. Alright, so this is all that we have left. About half a barrel. I am going to go grab a little 1.5 pound barrel and see if this will fit in it. In the meantime, these are the stones that are ready to move to 120. So we will put those in here. And then set them aside until next week, until hopefully more can join it. Alright, let me go grab that barrel. Okay. Have our little 1.5 pound barrel. Oh, perfect. I won't have to add any ceramics. So it's going to run just lovely. So we are going to get our 60/90. I'm only going to need 1 tablespoon because this is a small barrel. It's only going to run for 1 week. And then here's a tablespoon of borax for grit suspension and easy cleanup. I am still a little concerned. I don't know, do I want to put ceramics in here? I'm not gonna. Not at this juncture. Maybe next week. Alright. Let's just add the water. Button it up. Then label it. And we will see Unakite next week. Alright, that was quick. Alright, be right back. And we're back with our green Jasper. Yeah, green Jasper. It has just finished its 4th run, or 1 month, in 60/90 coarse silicone carbide grit, which is stage 1. And let's see if we're going to get anything to pull to medium. We've got a couple pieces that we were able to pull out last week. Let's see if we have anything to join it. Not this one. You see how rough that is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's going to need more time. It's got a different matrix on some of the stone. So we're going to want to take care of that. This edge looks like a piece chipped off, so we're going to want that rounded. That's feeling good, smooth, kind of like a nice solid. Nice solid piece. This I'm going to have to break off. It is cracked. That whole tip is cracked. So I'll just take a chisel and hammer and give it a little crack and put it back in the barrel to smooth off the edge. I'll be right back. Alright, mission accomplished. We got this cracked right off here. That is going to be a super easy grind and fix. And I'm going to put this little piece in the barrel just to use to help get the grit around. There's some druzy pockets in here, which are kind of interesting. Those are just little crystals inside those pockets. Just maybe 2 more weeks in stage 1. And the rest of that stone will be ready. This one's ready. Whew. Interesting divot on this one. That is a divot. It is not catching any grit. And it looks like it's smoothed enough and everything's going to work well for that. Alright, that can move forward. Oh, it needs some work. The interesting thing about this Jasper is Jasper's really hard. It's like a 7, sometimes a 7.5. Sometimes it can be a little bit softer, like a 6.5, but it all is a really good beginner level stone to run, because you can run it for weeks and weeks and sometimes months before it's ready to move to stage 2. And this is getting really close. There's just a little bit of a texture issue that I want smoothed out a little bit more before it goes to medium. Just a little bit more. But again, this is good to help build patience. And the smoother the surface, the better it's going to take a polish. So that's why we really want to take our time in stage 1. And sometimes it can take months. Oh my. That whole matrix is janky. Very rough. Interested if this grinds down more, if that fracture becomes more apparent to where it would be. Oh, I'm just going to have to crack that, aren't I? You know, let's see what happens. It might be too hard to crack. I'll be right back. Alright, we were able to get some of that cracked off. It's just going to help. But when I tried to crack it here, it wasn't going anywhere. So we're going to just let that grind. That's just... it wasn't going anywhere. Throw this part out. And we're continuing on. Oh, that's got a lot of damage. Some of this green jasper is beginning to look like moss agate as it grinds down. And I'm okay with that. Some of it's got little red in it. It kind of reminds me of bloodstone a little bit. So it's kind of interesting what they're calling green jasper has properties of other green gems, green stone. There was no ceramics in this barrel, so it's getting as much grinding as it could. I wasn't really, it's so hard, I'm not really worried about a lot of stone mass loss. My goodness, not a whole lot of this is moving forward. Just 3 pieces this week. Look at that. I'm going to get that wet. That quartz seam. Isn't that lovely? Still needs some shaping though. These are some bigger chunks. I like it. Okay, just 3 pieces. I'll set those aside. Pardon me. This is still pretty full, as you can see. I'm not going to need any ceramics yet. Okay, we'll put our borax in here. 1 tablespoon. Get our 6090 silicone carbide. Put 2 tablespoons. Let's add some water. Alright. Button this little baby up. Okay, on the tumbler it goes, and we'll see it next week. Bye, green jasper. Okay, our black onyx. This is the last of it that we've been waiting to run. It's been running in our 6090 ketchup barrel. I've been trying to get the last of it done. This has been running like ridiculously. It's like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 weeks. 19 weeks. Good God. And there's still a couple pieces that need work. Like, as you can see, we were trying to work this druzy pocket big enough. And then some of these little, I don't know, is that iron? I don't know, some marks. We've been trying to get them as perfect as possible. Like, this has got a fracture that's just like got pitted edges, and I was trying to work it out, and it's just like going zero. It's like not going anywhere. And as you can see, there's a little grit in that hole, so it's definitely a grit catcher. But my 6090 toothbrush can't really get in there to clean that grit out too well. But we've got an ultrasonic cleaner now. I bet you it'll get that grit out. But I was just hoping it would widen enough. Yeah, widen enough that it wouldn't be a problem. So I'm kind of like sick of running it. And now that we have the ultrasonic cleaner, I might just put these pieces in the cleaner and then move it to 120. Because I'm done with this crap. Because it's just, I think it's closer to an 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. We are getting zero mass loss. We are the grind is not happening. There's no ceramics in this barrel. There was some topaz in here that I was running as a substitute for ceramic, but there's like hardly any in here to really make a difference. These are the only pieces I have that are ready for medium. So it's going to be a small batch to begin with. But I think if I put all of it in the ultrasonic cleaner, give it 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then move it to medium, and then we're just going to live with it. I think that after 4 months, we're not going to see much improvement. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to think about it for a minute. I'm going to think about it. These are a maybe. I'm going to put these in here for an I don't know what to do with. This is a piece that I thought was bloodstone. And it's getting transparent, so there's a lot of quartz in it. And it's feeling super smooth, but again, this has just been a huge piece, and I've been setting it aside and setting it aside. It's been like 2 years since the rest of this batch was done. And I just had this piece left over sitting on the shelf waiting to decide if I was going to fix it with a Dremel tool or if I was going to get my flat lap repaired, which I have not done yet. It's been over a year. Things take money. So I don't know. But this whole side is just rough. And I want that worked out. And I think that can be worked out. This, probably never. This, yes. That's going back in a barrel. Other things that we had in here for ketchup. was this lovely amethyst. Well, hang on, let's do small pieces first. This is a piece of peach aventurine that could have run in the Unakite barrel, but the Unakite barrel was full. Alright, this just needs more work. Then I was running this amethyst, which is just kind of a barrel filler. I wasn't really running it as a project, so I really don't want to take a whole lot of time on it, but it's pretty and I wanted to show you. And these are just things that are going to run forever. Yeah, this is just barrel filler stuff. None of it's ready. But it's damn close to being ready to move to medium. Alright, this was another catch-up. This is the last of the Australian lace agate, not to be confused with Mexican lace. And it's got some deep hitting that the ultrasonic cleaner might be able to deal with, because the toothbrush just doesn't really want to get in there, or the bristles on the toothbrush are too large to get in that. So that's a candidate for the ultrasonic cleaner. Just had some pieces left over. I'm wanting to run that Australian lace in medium. I was really hoping to start that this week, but I'm waiting for these pieces to catch up with it. That druzy pocket has grit in it. Sorry about hitting the camera. It's the problem with tumbling things that have druzy pockets. Grit gets stuck in there. You know what? I think we'll just wet that down so it stays good and wet, and we'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. I think that one's ready to move forward. Ready to move. Ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, these were all ones that had like little druzy pockets. I'm going to stick all, just to be safe, put all of it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we'll make a decision after that if they're ready to take another whirl in the 60-90 barrel, or if they can join their cohorts in medium. I'll be right back. And we're back with our green tree moss agate, which looks suspiciously like our green Jasper. But look at all this beautiful quartz. Unfortunately, it has a lot of seams and veins, and the texture is not quite what I want to move to medium. You can see how it's still really porous, and I'd like that ground down more. So there's still just a few pieces with these little issues. Just little issues. It's these damn druzy pockets. Alright. So the green tree moss agate needs more time in 60-90. There's a couple pieces of everything else in there it still needs to run. I am going to probably see if I can move this to a smaller barrel. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. with our Sera Jasper, or windowed Rhyolite as it's also known. It has done one cycle in medium. Yes, we are finally in our medium barrel. It's been running 120, 220 silicone carbide grit, which is our medium stage, for 1 week. Now we want to check the surface of these stones and see if they are ready to move to 500. The surface is feeling really smooth. We're very happy with how it's shaped. But what I want to make sure is that I don't have any stones that have damage, any fractures that have happened, any undercutting, because it's conglomerate stone. There's a lot of different things in it. And we just want to make sure none of it's undercutting and it's feeling delightful. I'm thinking it's going to definitely be ready to move to 500 aluminum oxide, which means it's going to go into the vibratory unit. After a really good wash cycle. So I did run this with ceramics in the barrel to help keep it from damage. These are really heavy stones. And don't confuse heavy with Mohs hardness. There's some undercutting starting to happen right here. Yeah, this stuff is feeling nice. No grittiness, no but it doesn't have that glass-like feel. Hopefully we'll get that after the 500 run. This feels a little bumpy, so I don't know how this, like the blue parts feel higher. You can kind of see that, and it's kind of got that little chip or fracture in the blue. Oh, I hope that doesn't cause damage. There's a little druzy pocket on that one. These were cut on a tile saw versus crushing. It really, I think, it made a huge difference. That almost looks like an agate of some kind. Oh, it is an agate. We have an agate. Why did an agate sneak in this barrel? This, I know where this is supposed to be, and it's not in this barrel. Okay, we are going to wash cycle these with the ceramic media that was the 120 that was in the barrel to begin with, because it can all get a good wash, and it's going to continue to help cushion the stone. So let's put some in here. And then we are going to put 1 tablespoon of borax, because we do that for every run we do. And then I'm going to want some Dreft baby detergent. And I've had some people in the comments ask why I use Dreft instead of Dawn dish soap, because I use Dawn dish soap in the Vibratory barrels, because it's a really hard plastic. Or hard rubber, excuse me, and it's not going to, the chemicals that are in the Dawn is not going to damage it. And these Loratone barrels are a soft rubber, and I don't want any damage. So I use Dreft baby detergent in that because it's not caustic. One of these, let me go get the Dreft. We'll add water while we're sitting here. Oh, sorry. Completely sorry about that camera angle. Didn't realize it. I still need to add the Dreft, and then this is going to run for an hour. or so, and then I'm going to keep doing it until it runs clear. Alright, be right back. Okay, we are back with our picture Jasper. We have all of our pieces have come out of stage 1, and now it's ready for a good bath or wash cycle. So it's all in here with 1 tablespoon of borax and 1 tablespoon of Druff baby detergent. It's going to run for an hour, and then I'm going to rinse it and then repeat until the water runs clearish, and then it's going to move to medium. So yay, we've got a project moving on. Okay, we'll be back. Ooh, thought I'd check on the polish barrel for whitefish base stones, big stones. Got a nice slurry, a little wet, but it'll dry. And I am going to slow it down just a tidge. That's better. Alright, let's put the lid on it and check on it again in 12 hours. Alright, our stones finished their 30-minute cycle in the ultrasonic, and you can see the water is a little cloudy and dusty. Boy, some of these pockets look a lot cleaner. To say this was a success, cleaning it out, I'm going to put these stones with their 120 counterparts and see if we have enough to run another batch. Yikes, that's pretty filthy.